Welcome to week 6 of the Tim and Chuck Show, presented by Bat and Stevens Body Shop. I am Tim McDonough, joined by my esteemed colleague Chuck Martinez-Brandon. Chuck, we're here on location at Pickers. They got us set up well, and Chuck, week 6, the season's half over.
Man, it goes fast, doesn't it? It's finally starting to feel like football weather, though.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there in the 60s. And, But I mean, I can't believe how fast it's going. The season, like I said, half gone. We're on the backside of this thing.
We are. It just seemed like yesterday we were getting ready for 7-on-7s, and now everybody's talking playoffs.
Playoffs? Are you kidding me? Playoffs? I think we're a little too early for that, but in due time, right? In due time. Chuck, let's go to some of the footage that Ethan shot this week. First of all, a big thank you to the Defiance student section for that warm welcome. And Chuck, as you noticed, they were all dressed in pink.
That's great.
If you look at the shots from around the stadium, a lot of people dressed in pink, including the band members. Obviously, that brought some great awareness for breast cancer.
Yeah, that's great to see those young people out there, supporting the cause and helping out people in the community by bringing awareness to breast cancer.
Well, Chuck, we've got some footage from the Defiance Salina game, and there's one player we wanted to talk about in particular, Braden Frederick. Had a big night for Defiance. He had 7 catches for 190 yards, and we've got some footage of him making some tough catches.
Yeah.
And taking some big hits and just getting right back up.
That is, when you have that many catches for that many yards, a lot of times guys tend to get gator arms after they get hit once or twice. They're not going to want to reach out for that.
Yeah.
But he did a great job, just kept hauling them in.
Unfortunately, if you'll see in the video here, it looked like he had a touchdown that was going to give Defiance the lead late. It was called back, and Salina went on to win that game 28-20. But I'd like to give a shout out to Braden. I mean, wow.
Yeah, great game, great effort.
Yeah. Now, Chuck, let's talk about the Varsity Club Apparel Company Game of the Week. Right. We're staying in the GMC this week. A couple of teams you know a little bit about. We've got Edgerton, 4-1, 1-1 in the league, going to Tenora, 3-2, 1-1 in the league. Talk about this matchup.
Well, this is one of those games, I think, if you enjoy, the basis of football and just watching line play and watching guys get after it in the trenches, I think you're going to like this game a lot. Edgerton has a defensive line and an offensive line that'll get after you. They're really aggressive. And Tenora, man, that's their mantra for the last decade, is getting after you in the trenches. So it's going to be just guys pounding each other and opening up lanes or filling up lanes, depending on which side of the ball you're on.
Well, that's going to be the story of this game for both offenses. Yeah. They both like to run the football. Their quarterbacks do a nice job getting the ball to the guys that they need to get them to, but mostly that starts with handing the ball off to the guy in the backfield.
Oh, yeah, it's all about run game. And if you can do that, you can control the clock, because both of these offenses have the ability to put up points too, if need be. Yeah. So if you can control the clock with that run game, and then if your defense can limit them and get a couple 3s and outs, it's going to be a great game.
Well, with Ayersville, which is off to a 2-0 start in the league, the loser of this game falls to 1-2. That's a big hole to climb out of if you want to have any chance of getting a league title.
It really is, especially with, like you said, time's winding down. There's only a few weeks left. If you fall 2 games back, you're going to need a lot of help.
Yeah. Now, we've talked about Dalton Dackenhouse and Spencer Martin for Tenora. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Derek Blue, Cameron Jordan, and Hunter Prince. Among the 3 of those, they have, looking at it, 19 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, and they can score. They run the ball hard. They hit the hole fast, and and they come at you from different angles offensively. Which, when you're playing on defense, you have to really be sound and do your assignments well, because again, when they hit the hole, they'll be downfield before you know it.
Yeah. Brendan Dingus, Chuck, comes in for Tenora, 45 tackles, leads the team. Ian Santos and Derek Smith, 30 each. On the flip side, Edgerton is led by Cameron Jordan, who we talked about as a running back. Yep. He leads the team with 28 stops, and Carter Neck, 27 stops for Matt Wilhelmstein. That should just be a fun matchup.
Oh, yeah, those guys just get after. You mentioned the Dingus kid. Love watching him on film at linebacker. I mean, he fills the hole fast, and, he's making plays sideline to sideline. It's great to watch. And the Edgerton guys, same way, man. They will come downhill and put the wood on you.
Well, Ethan will be at that game on Friday night, so all you Edgerton and Tenora fans, go crazy, have some fun. We'll feature you next week.
That's right. And hold on to the signs, cheerleaders, please.
That's a very good point. Chuck, we've come to the part of the show where we hand out some awards. Yep. We usually start with one called the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. What do they say about that, Chuck?
Every Friday night there's collisions, but there's only one Rose Insurance Collision of the Week.
What do you got for us?
Hey, we're coming from that Defiance Salina game last week. We have Salina quarterback Ryan Harder back to receive a punt, and he is grabbed by Defiance's Daniel Asaf, gets a little spin around move there, and then Isaiah Salinas Diaz grabs onto a leg, and then big old Dakota Coates puts on the little bit of wood. And you know what? Number 77, Tom Hellman, he'll get half a tackle because he's in there on that pile.
That was a lot of bodies flying
That's
towards
right.
one guy.
Hey, when you're coming in waves, man, that is decimating.
Yeah. That's your Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. And now it's time for our Jacobs Meets Play of the Week, coming from that same game. We've got Defiance quarterback Javin Newton in the shotgun. Hands off to Tylon Richard. He sweeps left. Next thing you know, he's running up the sideline. 40-yard run, but before he gets to the end zone, at the 10, he grabs the ball with two hands. He gets to the 3, and he does the flip into the end zone. The ball barely clears the line, and then the yellow hanky comes out. Probably should have done that, but looked like he was excited and having fun.
It's exciting. All I can say is my coaching blood just says, act like you've been there before.
That is your Jacobs Meets Play of the Week. Now, Chuck, as always, we like to promo the Blitz. It'll be out again in Thursday's Crescent News. The sports section is doing a great job with that. I think it's a big hit.
Yeah, you know what? It's awesome. It's like that season preview tab every week. You've got stories and colored pictures, and I mean, it's just a wonderful thing. And just having been around a lot of the kids, they're talking about it every week. You know, talking about the stories and the features. So it's just a great item.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, Chuck, we're almost ready to close this thing, but before we leave, I have to ask you one thing. Any words of wisdom?
Well, you know, our work is done for the week, Tim. So as they say, the hay is in the barn. Let's just enjoy some football.
See you next week.